just take girls that aren't me.
3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, SmashCast here. I'm AG and
PJ, and we have a special guest, Alex from the Super Smash channel. Say hi.
Yeah, hey guys, Alex from the Super Smash channel here. Great to be here. We can't wait to get this discussion started again.
So basically, this is part 2 of our hidden character slash Gematsu League discussion. So we're gonna start off with Meta Knight.
Yeah, I was never really a big Meta Knight fan. I know there's a lot of people out there who love him, but I honestly could care less. I mean, I always heard of him being like banned in tournaments because he could just like fly under the map all the time or something like that.
yeah, Meta Knight was definitely OP in Brawl, but I'm pretty sure we've seen Zero Suit Samus take the OP in this kind of game, so we know that Sakurai is like making a lot of his characters way overpowered, especially Kirby. Not even in the tournament, didn't even need his copy ability and still practically won that game. And I think Meta Knight will be toned down, and since it's a Sakurai character, there's no way he's going to be removed. And having 3 characters from Kirby franchise, I don't think that's too much to ask for. So, yeah, Meta Knight's probably
a solid number, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Meta Knight is gonna be in because his Halberd stage is back. We even saw it in the direct, so you know he's obviously back, and hopefully he can't fly under the stage because that's pretty ridiculous.
Okay, next we have Ice Climbers. Now, Ice Climbers are a very interesting duo, much like the original Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong duo, which didn't turn out too well and had to scrap that.
Would be cool though.
Yeah, and they happen to be like in the top tiers for Brawl in competitive. And the one thing that I think in this game they really need to turn down the sexist part of the game, where if you kill the guy, the girl dies too, but if you kill the girl, then the guy doesn't die. So they're probably gonna balance it out. Maybe like have them, if one of them dies, then they both die. But they really need to tone it so it fixes
Well,
it.
I always thought that it was just whoever the secondary character was, because like there's first main Ice Climber that you play as, and then the other one that you don't control, but rather it just follows you around. Like that, if that one goes, you're still in. So whether you pick a guy or a girl, it would. Like okay, let's say if the girl one gets the girl CPU gets thrown off the stage, then would that doesn't mean that the guy one would disappear too, right?
I think so. I'm pretty sure if it might just be the secondary part, but not a lot of people change it, so it just becomes.
Oh well, yeah. The default is that the guy is the leader. I guess it would say, for lack of better words. I don't know. I just don't see a reason as to why they wouldn't be in the game. Looking at this objectively, because you know they've been in since Melee, or well, if they were in Smash 4, they'd be in since Melee. So. Yeah, I don't see a reason for him not being in, personally.
Yep.
Great. And Ice Climbers also had, in the Smash run, we saw a few frozen kind of entities there, and I'm pretty sure Kirby had a frozen hat, let's say ability, but didn't actually have a hat on, so you couldn't tell who it was. We're just gonna assume that it could have been the Ice Climbers, but they didn't have the hat yet, so it's still in dev.
Well, actually, that was actually part of his custom moveset. I'm pretty sure we learned that at E3, actually.
You could change one of his abilities to instead of absorbing the enemy, you could do it like an outward like freeze thing.
Okay, can you imagine if Kirby's like copy abilities for every character? Imagine if that had a custom moveset, so you had 3 options for every single character in the game. That'd be insane.
I think that would be too OP.
Unfair.
Yeah, that would be unfair, definitely.
Kirby would become the new Meta Knight for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
In that case, definitely banned from tournaments. You know, if customized movesets would be, because we still don't know how it's gonna how the Smash 4 metagame is gonna work, because we already know that like online modes, you won't be able to use customized movesets with anyone, with the with anyone mode, and just with friends. But I'm talking about like the MLG and BG boot camps kind of stuff, you know. Like we don't know how the rules are gonna work for that yet, whether or not you'll be able to use custom movesets for that either. Because that's all based on what the community all agrees upon. But most likely they're gonna say, no, how about we just stick with the defaults for all the characters?
Yeah, they probably will do that.
Yeah, most likely.
And Ice Climbers are definitely not forgotten, because Sakurai loves his old characters, and that goes with Game & Watch too, because we've seen the Balloon Fighter stage, we've seen like a lot of different old games have their appearances, such as Excite Bike back in the day, getting Little Mac as a playable. So for that reason, all the Ice Climbers being an old game and not being redone definitely is not forgotten. So yeah. Next for Game & Watch.
So Mr. Game & Watch, actually, he's pretty much confirmed as a hidden character because he was shown in the Pac-Man trailer as in him and Pac-Man from 1980 and DK and Mario from 1981. So Game & Watch is definitely in. He's been in since Melee. He's definitely an iconic and fan favorite Nintendo character. I couldn't see him leaving the roster.
God, I got so many comments on my videos saying, oh, but Game & Watch isn't confirmed, he's not anywhere on the website. But, like, why would you show him off then? Like, what's the point of showing him off? I mean,
it's obviously a hint.
Yeah, they're most likely gonna have him as a hidden character.
But it's mainly just showing them off because Sakurai is such a troll with everything, so he wants to make you think that he's gonna be in the game, but at the same time he won't be, so he'll, like, do mind tricks with you.
Game & Watch has a new model at the end of the Pac-Man trailer.
Does he?
Yeah, it's different from the Brawl one.
Well, it's probably more HD, and he's actually three-dimensional. Like his actual character model is three-dimensional, even though it looks two-dimensional.
Yeah, that's pretty cool too. But also Game & Watch is definitely confirmed because if you saw Pong is an assist trophy from and they don't actually call it Pong for copyright reasons, but instead they call it the Color TV game, which Game & Watch is their first character that they have ever developed before Jumpman, guys. And he was on the Color TV, so having an assist trophy of Pong on the Color TV.
Was he on Color TV?
Yeah,
I thought he was only on the Game & Watch handheld thing.
He was on Game & Watch, but I'm pretty sure he had like some sort of like hand in the Color TV at some point in the lifespan.
Oh well,
I think so.
Maybe he had some way of influencing that, I suppose. But I mean, I don't know. Despite him not doing much in the competitive scene, I always liked him. He was awesome in Melee, in my opinion. I already hear all the viewers laughing at me right now, but I don't care. Again, I just look at him as like a joke character almost. I mean, all his movesets are so hilarious. I mean, like that one flipping, what's he flipping, sausages, or is it?
I honestly have no clue.
People argue still to this day. But it's great. I just love him. He needs to be in the game. I'd be upset if he wasn't.
I just hope he doesn't do some troll thing and like replace Game & Watch with like Chorusman or something. Even though Game & Watch is a big enough fan base, I'm pretty sure he's not gonna disappear.
Literally, like, no one expected Rob in Brawl, and it's one of those things that we will get into in a few minutes, but one of those things, like, if the Chorusmen got in, people would be like, who are they? Like, for people who don't know about the Gematsu League, those people who waiting on a website or waiting for the legitimate game to come out, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, isn't that kind of the point of Smash Bros. Though? Like it's a celebration of just gaming, mainly Nintendo franchises. Well, I mean, yeah, and we got the third party too, but that's off topic. Just the whole point of it is like just a celebration of these characters, old and new, and so by having Chorusman in the game, it'd be like a way of promoting Rhythm Heaven almost, or like showing it off to a new audience of people who didn't possibly know of it before.
Yep.
And of course, like having Chorusman in Smash definitely lead up to if they want to release like Rhythm Heaven for the Wii U or something, or just make a completely new one for the 3DS. And anyways, we're gonna be moving on to the Gematsu leak. So of course, this was talked about a few months back, and there was someone who was given a tip to Gematsu, and they were told that 6 new characters are supposed to show up for the Wii U version and 3DS version, and they are supposed to be Shulk, Palutena, Chrom, Chorusman, and a Pokemon from Pokemon X and Y. And they were also tipped by the same person who said that Pac-Man and Mii's are supposed to be released for E3.
Yeah, last year, even before the Shulk, Palutena, and Chorusman leak, they said that there was going to be Mega Man, Villager, Wii Fit Trainer, Little Mac, Pac-Man, and Mii. And all of those got confirmed.
Yep.
And so far, from the Gematsu leak shown, Palutena and a Pokemon from Pokemon X and Y have been announced or confirmed. So I say there's really no reason to doubt it. The only fishy thing is that they didn't state that which Pokemon it was from Pokemon X and Y.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, giving him some credit, maybe he was just saving it for a surprise, maybe.
And I'm actually shocked that this person didn't predict Rosalina Luma, or get on the list Rosalina Luma. It's kind of weird.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean... that doesn't necessarily mean that we should, like...
Not believe it? Yeah, I get what you're saying, but, like...
But I do believe that it is kind of strange, just showing off these characters and leaving out one. So that is kind of weird, I guess.
Yeah. So, for the Gematsu leak, we're first going to talk about Chrom. So, Chrom, obviously in Fire Emblem Awakening, you know, these recent Fire Emblem games have actually been really successful, kind of worldwide, and, you know,
Fire Emblem may be the only one in the series that I played, but I loved every moment of it. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Awakening is the best-selling Fire Emblem game, is it not?
I'm pretty sure you're right.
Yeah, if it's not, it's still the most recent. So why not add the main character of the most recent and possibly most popular game in the series? It just makes sense.
Yep, and having Chrom in the game would make sense because there's been like a new Fire Emblem character or 2 new Fire Emblem characters like every game, pretty much. So you know, if Chrom was in, wouldn't really surprise me. And then if you look at the
I always like sword fighting characters in Smash Bros.
Yeah, there's a lot of them if these 2 get in, but basically Lucina, if you think about it, like, people think that there's going to be 2 new Fire Emblem characters. They want Lucina over Chrom, and then there's like that big argument. It's basically like arguing with Ridley fanboys that Ridley's too big to be in the game. So it's just nothing you want to touch.
I'd rather see a Lucina skin than have her be a character.
Definitely.
I can see that working.
Plus with Chrom, like, we saw that how Ike was released and a completely new look of Radiant Dawn, which kind of confirmed Chrom even the more, which definitely is debatable. But if you think about it, him not including Ike and just including Chrom, kind of saying that the Fire Emblem series doesn't matter as much, but the fact that he brought him back despite Chrom being the more relevant than him, means that he really wants to expand on that roster and saying that everyone does like this series, so we're going to try to include as many characters from it as possible. So Chrom, for that reason, would definitely be joining.
Well, I know I like this series, and I wouldn't mind a 3rd representative from Fire Emblem. I think that'd be amazing.
Yeah, same here. And hopefully Chrom is kind of in between with Ike and Marth, how Marth is kind of, you know, has a lot of combos, and then Ike is just a powerhouse, and hopefully Chrom can be the
he can be the middle ground.
Yeah, the middle, kind of like Roy, how he was fast, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, next we have Shulk from Xenoblade, and of course, Xenoblade Chronicles X is going to be coming out for the Wii U, and we've heard rumors of the voice actor apparently working on multiple different voice acting games at the moment, and a lot of people have been taking this to consideration of Smash Bros. Being one of them. And he actually said that I can't reveal which games these are because I might lose my job. So him saying that probably means that it's going to be a pretty big game that hasn't been announced yet that he's in. So pretty much pointing all the way up to Smash Bros.
Yep.
I know this has nothing to do with Smash Bros, but I really want him to voice act in Xenoblade Chronicles X. I still believe that he's going to make some kind of appearance in the game, Shulk, in the game, even though apparently it's got nothing to do with Xenoblade Chronicles, and it is a completely separate thing, like spiritual successor or whatnot. I still think that there's going to be some kind of reference, but whatever. Back to Smash Bros. I would love Shulk.
Yeah, I think he would actually have a pretty diverse moveset. And, being a sword character, people would be like, oh, another sword character, but...
Well, no, have you played Xenoblade Chronicles?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they could be really creative with him, because in Xenoblade Chronicles, you have different arts. I think that maybe what they could do with the character, if he was in, is that you could switch between the different arts for different movesets and be able to... He'd have a larger variety. He wouldn't be like the rest of the sword fighters. He'd be a little more creative, in my eyes.
Yeah, he definitely would, because if you think about it, let's say I try not to hate him on me for saying this, but Link doesn't do much with his sword. He has it as a weapon, and then Marth and then Ike have their kind of different decisions, like how one goes on more vertical attacks while the other does horizontal. While it's definitely cool, but one of them kind of mirror too much of what Link does, even though that's kind of debatable. But then Shulk, on the other hand, it's kind of like a Lloyd Irving, where he uses his sword but has all these different powers with it, which makes him a lot different from the characters. So he really has a different moveset, so no one can really call him a clone for having too much sword characters in that case.
Oh, definitely not. I to be honest, I can't really see Shulk copying any one of the movesets that are in the game. I just can't see it.
It probably won't.
Well, I hope not, if he's in the game. Though, I'm gonna be honest here, guys. Even though I played Xenoblade Chronicles, I never beat it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I let you down. but from what I played, I really like the game, and I feel like it has the potential. Like, this series has the potential of becoming like something amazing. I mean, it already has. I mean, there was that whole thing with GameStop having Xenoblade Chronicles be crazy expensive because people started wanting it all of a sudden. So there's obviously a market out there. There's obviously people interested in Xenoblade. Let it be known. Come on, Sakurai, just give us Shulk. We want him. We need him.
I have to agree with that.
Definitely.
Now moving on to Chorusman from Rhythm Heaven. Now, of course, this is
we touched on this a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, we touched on this like a lot, and it's debatable because like we have Game & Watch, but they are completely different, so no one can really say that because they're black and white characters, they're the same. We've seen the Rhythm Heaven enemies in Smash Run.
Yeah.
We've seen the stage of like the Heaven on the 3DS. Was it the 3DS or Wii U one?
Yeah, it was the 3DS. Sakurai posted something on Miiverse. Something like, it's in the heavens or something. I forgot what the exact thing is.
And yeah, leading everyone to think about Rhythm Heaven, so definitely hinting that.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Here's the post. Here's the exact post. He says, pick of the day, is this a match made in heaven? Remember, no matter how big you may be, there's always someone bigger. So...
Oh yeah, people also thought that last part was hinting to Ridley.
Yeah, he's been hinting Ridley too much with a little direct, back in the direct for April, not showing the full Ridley thing and people thinking, oh, it's just Meta Ridley, it's not the actual Ridley. And then all that thing about the the World Hobby Fair getting that Ridley.
Oh yeah, Apparently that was just a little ripple in the paper, like it was crinkled up or whatever, and that was just like a really Ridley shaped crinkle in the paper.
Apparently.
I have a feeling that was someone trolling. Like, if you take a legitimate scan of the paper, it literally is just completely black. So it's either someone trolled or it just happens to look like Ridley. So thinking it was the second one there.
And I think definitely Ridley could, because he didn't show him in the direct, I can totally see. I want Ridley to come back. I know you're gonna get hate for people who say that, and then if you say Ridley's not gonna come back, you're gonna get hate for that. So
I'm gonna get hated on.
I'm gonna get. I really want him to be
happy.
And plus him being kind of hidden in the direct, not showing him, he could potentially be a hidden character. You know, resize him, stuff like that.
I don't know. I still feel kind of iffy about it because he showed him during the bosses segment. So
yeah, but not completely though. That's the one part.
That's what has everyone up in a riot about, up in flames about.
So pretty much, do you guys believe the Gematsu leak? Yes or no?
I stated this before. There's no reason to doubt it. That's the thing. Other than him not stating Rosalina, he's got everything spot on so far.
PJ?
True. Yeah, I definitely believe the Gematsu leak, and I hope all the characters on there are in.
Yeah, I think we can all say that the Gematsu leak has a very good tipper, whoever got this, and it seems to be practically true. I think we can all say that we really wanted him to specifically say either Mewtwo or like another character, or like for some of us Ridley, but you know, we get what we get, so yeah.
Yep.
So anyways guys, this is SmashCast signing out with this Super Smash channel.
Yep. See you guys.
And thanks for watching.
NFC and DLCs, and also what it could mean for Smash.
What Namco is going to be doing for Smash Brothers.